Blue Book Atomic Habits, Chapter 3 Summary. Chapter 3 of Atomic Habits focuses on a powerful idea. Backhand index pointing write how habits are formed and how they shape our behavior automatically. The author, James Clear, explains that habits are not random. They follow a clear psychological pattern, and once you understand this pattern, you can build good habits and break bad ones more easily. This chapter introduces the concept of the habit loop, which becomes the foundation for the rest of the book. 1. What are habits? The chapter begins by explaining that habits are automatic behaviors. They are actions we repeat so often that they become almost effortless. Examples: brushing your teeth, checking your phone, drinking tea in the morning, locking the door. You don't think much before doing these actions. They happen automatically. The author explains that habits exist to save mental energy. If we had to think about every small action, our brain would get exhausted very quickly. 2. Why the brain builds habits. The brain is always trying to save effort and work efficiently. When you repeat an action many times, the brain turns it into a habit so that you don't have to think about it. You can do it faster. You can focus on other things. This process is called automaticity. Over time, the brain shifts control from conscious thinking to automatic behavior. 3. The habit loop core concept. The most important idea in Chapter 3 is the habit loop. Every habit follows a 4-step cycle. 1. Cue trigger. A signal that tells your brain to start a behavior. Examples: seeing your phone, right arrow cue to check it. Feeling bored, right arrow cue to scroll social media. Morning time, right arrow cue to drink tea. 2. Craving desire. The motivation behind the habit. You don't crave the habit itself, you crave the result. Examples: you don't crave the phone, right arrow, you crave entertainment or connection. You don't crave tea, right arrow, you crave freshness or energy. 3. Response action. The actual behavior you perform. Examples: checking the phone, drinking tea, eating snacks. 4. Reward benefit. The benefit you get from the behavior. Examples: feeling relaxed, getting pleasure, reducing boredom. Backhand index pointing write this loop repeats again and again, making the habit stronger over time. 4. Example of the habit loop. Let's understand with a simple example. Backhand index pointing right situation. You feel bored. Cue: feeling bored. Craving: want entertainment. Response: open Instagram or YouTube. Reward: feel entertained. Because the reward feels good, your brain remembers this pattern and repeats it next time. 5. Habits solve problems. The author explains that every habit is a solution to a problem. For example, feeling tired, right arrow, drink coffee. Feeling bored, right arrow, use phone. Feeling stressed, eat something. The brain learns which actions solve problems quickly and stores them as habits. 6. Why bad habits are easy. Bad habits often form quickly because they provide instant rewards. Examples: eating junk food, right arrow, instant pleasure. Watching videos, right arrow, instant entertainment. Avoiding work, right arrow, instant relief. The brain prefers actions that give quick rewards, even if they are harmful in the long term. 7. Why good habits are hard. Good habits are difficult because their rewards are delayed. Examples: exercise, right arrow, results after weeks or months. Studying, right arrow, success after exams. Saving money, right arrow, benefit in future. Because the reward is not immediate, the brain does not feel motivated. 8. Immediate versus delayed rewards. The chapter highlights an important difference. Backhand index pointing right, bad habits, right arrow, immediate reward, long-term pain. Backhand index pointing right good habits right arrow immediate effort, long-term reward. For example, eating junk food right arrow pleasure now, health problems later. Exercising right arrow effort now, better health later. The brain naturally chooses immediate rewards, which is why bad habits are easier to develop. 9. Awareness is the first step. The author emphasizes that you cannot change habits if you are not aware of them. Many habits happen automatically without thinking. For example, checking phone without realizing, eating snacks unconsciously, wasting time without noticing. To change habits, you must first observe and identify them. 10. The Habit Scorecard Practical Tool. The chapter introduces a simple exercise called the Habit Scorecard. In this method, you write down your daily habits. Mark each habit as positive plus, negative, neutral equals. Example, wake up early plus, check phone immediately right arrow, drink water plus. This helps you clearly see which habits are helping or harming you. 11. No habit is good or bad by itself. The author explains that habits are not inherently good or bad. Their value depends on whether they help you achieve your goals. For example, using your phone is not bad, but using it for hours unnecessarily can be harmful. So instead of labeling habits as good or bad, ask, backhand index pointing right, does this habit help me become the person I want to be? 12. The role of awareness in change. Once you become aware of your habits, you gain control. You can then replace bad habits, improve good habits, remove unnecessary behaviors. Without awareness, habits control you. With awareness, you control your habits. 13. Connection with identity. This chapter connects with Chapter 2. Your habits reflect your identity. For example, if you see yourself as disciplined right arrow, you follow good habits. If you see yourself as lazy right arrow, you avoid effort. By changing your habits, you gradually change your identity. 14. Key lessons from Chapter 3. The main lessons include: 1. Habits are automatic behaviors that save mental effort. 2. The brain builds habits to become more efficient. 3. Every habit follows a 4-step loop. Cue right arrow, craving right arrow, response right arrow, reward. 4. Habits are solutions to problems. 5. Bad habits give instant rewards, so they form easily. 6. Good habits have delayed rewards, so they require effort. 7. Awareness is the first step to changing habits. 8. The Habit Scorecard helps identify behavior patterns. 9. Habits shape identity over time. Understanding the habit loop allows better control over behavior. Conclusion. Chapter 3 of Atomic Habits explains how habits work at a fundamental level. By understanding the habit loop, readers can see why they behave in certain ways and how habits are formed automatically. The key message is simple. Backhand index pointing right. If you understand how habits work, you can redesign them. Instead of being controlled by habits, you can take control and build behaviors that support your goals and identity.